Yo, what's going on out there, fight world? This your boy Money back with another one, fam. And this one here's on three big dogs in this fight game. We have Chris Eubanks Jr., the former IBO middleweight champion. He did hold the WBA interim title at the middleweight as well, one of the UK hottest stars. Then we have Terence T-Bug Crawford, the undefeated three-division world champion, the two-time undisputed champion. He's to some the current pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. And then we have Jaron Ennis, the hottest young welterweight in the game, most definitely the IBF champion at the welterweight division. And you know, his name is ringing bells. You dig what I'm saying? He's the hottest, youngest welterweight, and his name is ringing bells. So, Jaron Ennis, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world, want to tell Terence Boy Crawford, you're going to duck me to fight Chris Eubanks Jr. I repeat, Jaron Ennis is letting Terence Boy Crawford know that you're going to duck me to fight Chris Eubanks Jr., a man that your coach just trained. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all was just training Chris Eubanks. And now all of a sudden, you finna go to 160 to fight him because you say, I don't bring nothing to the table, but I got the IBF scrap. You understand what I'm saying? And you said you don't want to fight nobody who don't have a title, and Chris Eubanks don't hold a title, but I hold the title at the welterweight division, the title that you got stripped of, and you don't want to come and get it back? Something a little fishy. Something's a little fishy. You understand? Now, Terence Boy Crawford, like I said, three-division world champion, two-time undisputed. Did so much in the sport of boxing. If I'm not mistaken, Bud is 34, 35 years of age, and he's looking for a payday. You understand? He's looking for a payday, and he's ready to get up out the door. He said already that if it wasn't for the Errol Spence fight, that he was going to retire, and he got the Errol Spence fight, and he been fighting Errol Spence for the second time because he was obligated. But now, right, since the fight didn't take place and like it's off the table, he was pursuing a fight with Canelo Alvarez, which he was never going to get. The whole world knew he wasn't going to get Canelo Alvarez, but somehow, you know, people out here campaigning for him to fight Canelo Alvarez. Canelo turned him down, and he said it multiple times. And now he got his sights set on the middleweight division after not making it to the super middleweight division, and he's looking at Chris Eubanks Jr. Now, Chris Eubanks just came off a win over Beefy Smith, Liam Smith, right? Lost the first fight, and now he just won the second one, right? So, Chris Eubanks was trained by Brian Bo McIntyre. Yeah, they just had a whole training camp together. So now, Bo Mac is going to turn around and go against Chris Eubanks Jr. So what happened in that span or that little time frame of y'all working with one another, winning your first fight, and now all of a sudden y'all breaking up to face one another? Sounds a little fishy to me. You dig what I'm saying? Sound a little fishy, bro. But Chris Eubanks, 160-pound fighter, never really became a real champion. He had the IBO scrap, right? And a lot of people claim the IBO. You know, Joshua had it. You get that when you're being undisputed and shit like that. But a lot of people don't really worry about the IBO. Jaron Ennis, right? He has been calling out Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, the big names at 147, Keith Thurman, for the longest now. Now, he just got the IBF scrap, right? And now, you know, he's looking for the big fights. A lot of people look at Boots as the best fighter at the 147-pound division outside of Errol Spence and Terence Crawford right now. And a lot of people feel like Jaron Ennis beat Terence Boy Crawford. A lot of people, man. A lot of people saying Boots do everything Bud do, but better. Switch hitter. Southpaw. Powerful. You know what I'm saying? Can go in there and you know, make people look stupid. Good defense. You know, a lot of things he do in the ring that's just, you know, magnificent, bro. And if you look at his skill set, you see that he's hungry. You see that he's poised, and he mean business. You had the great Floyd Money Mayweather, you know, speak about him and say you're a bad motherfucker, just like the great Floyd Money Mayweather speak on Terence Boy Crawford. But Terence Boy Crawford is in the middle of a rock and a hard plate. You understand? He's in the middle of a rock and a hard plate, man. So he has to come out here and really, you know, look at the landscape and see what he's going to do. Because in his mind, he really don't give a damn what nobody say. He feel like he done everything that people said he couldn't do, especially after beating Earl Spence. You know, that win went to Bud Head. Like, it was a good win that make him a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. But, you know, after beating Earl Spence, you know, he got to thinking he can get the Canelo Alvarez fight, thinking he's the, you know, the biggest draw in boxing and shit like that. And that's just not true, bro. It's just not true. You still Terence Crawford, your biggest pay-per-views with Earl Spence. You went on pay-per-view, you know, 3 times, and they all was a bust. And now, because you fought Earl Spence on pay-per-view, you think that your numbers are up there like that. But it's not. You know what I mean? It's not. And a take on a Chris Eubanks Jr., like, nobody's really looking for you to fight a Chris Eubanks Jr., bro. You know, people don't get nothing out of this fight. Like, let's be real. People don't get nothing out of this fight. You don't get nothing out of this fight. You feel me? Like, I don't know what you're looking for in this fight. At the end of the day, do it give you a payday? That's yet to be seen. Where do it take place? Do it happen in the UK? Do it happen on American soil? I'm quite sure it might happen on American soil because, you know, you the A side and things of that nature. Or, you know, going up to 160, like, that's your first time up there. You know, you don't have a title. But nonetheless, you got Chris Eubanks Jr. in the ring, man, and really, like, what do you get from this fight? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what Bud looking for fighting Chris or nothing like that. If you go fight Jaron Boots Ennis, he got the IBF scrap. He got the notoriety of the young, hungry lion and things of that nature. So people going to be looking forward to saying, like, bro, you ducking Boots. You ducking Boots. Now, a lot of people screaming at Canelo, saying Canelo ducking David Benavidez. He don't want to fight David. He's afraid of David. He's ducking this fighter. He's ducking that fighter. But isn't Terence Crawford doing the same shit that y'all trying to say Canelo doing? Right? To the ones out there that's trying to shit on Canelo up and down all around. Isn't Terence Crawford doing the same thing Canelo Alvarez doing? According to y'all. You know what I'm saying? According to y'all. So now, Terence Crawford. Okay, you beat Earl Spence. I don't know if that was the last fight that you won in your career, to where you like, you know what, look, I'm just looking for one more payday and I'm out the door. Maybe that's the situation here, right? Like, maybe he's just looking for a big payday and then he's gone. I guess you look at Chris Eubank as having a UK fan base, or, you know, it's going to be US versus UK, or, you know, Chris Eubanks got a bigger name than Jaron Boots Ennis right now, or, you know, somebody didn't already offer him a certain amount of money, or he knows that it's going to be a certain amount of money in the Chris Eubanks fight. Who knows? Like I said, him and Chris, they probably talked already with Chris being over there with Brian Bomac McIntyre. Like I said, training the last fight. They probably talked behind closed doors, you know, talk to this person and that person and said they can get $1 off this fight. You know what I mean? Maybe that was the reason why Bomac was training Chris Eubanks in the first place. Maybe they had this up their sleeve already. Who knows, fam? Who knows? All we know is Terence Crawford don't want to fight Jaron Boots Ennis, and he's been turning him down for a while now. Like I say, Boots is not going to stop calling his name out as long as you holding titles at the 147-pound division. He's doing what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? He's doing what he's supposed to do. The best fighters want to fight the best cats out there, especially when you're trying to make your name and show people that you are that guy. Because if Jaron Boots Ennis was to fight a Terence Crawford and to defeat a Terence Crawford, you know what that do for Boots? You know what that do for Boots? Overnight sensation. Overnight. And he proved everybody right. You know, and Terence Crawford, he don't want to lose his thunder to somebody like a Jaron Boots Ennis. He can't fathom himself losing to a Jaron Boots Ennis if he was to take a loss to Boots. You know, it's just to eat him alive because he's so competitive and things of that nature. So, you know, maybe, you know, I'm not going to say he's afraid of Boots because Bud ain't afraid of nobody. I will say that about that black boy. That boy is just, you know, he's mean. But, you know, he's looking at the business side, and he's probably is looking at the what if. What if that boy do whoop my ass and knock me out or something like that? He do take my thunder, and, you know, that's going to be bad on my career after all. You know what I'm saying? I just beat Earl Spence, and that's my stamp into the Hall of Fame. You know, he's a future Hall of Famer already, but beating Earl Spence is the icing on the cake for him. So now I guess he say he can do whatever he want to do after that fight, and maybe he is looking for a big payday, and then he want to leave. But after this fight, we'll see. You know what I mean? He's still trying to chase that Canelo bag. A lot of people feel like he go get it probably. I don't think so. But at the end of the day, time will tell. All I know is Jaron Boots Ennis is not letting up off that boy. And Jaron Boots Ennis say that boy is ducking him to fight Chris Eubanks. That's some sucker shit to him. Straight like that, and money be on to the next.